Well, Yang was actually a student of mine. I taught her a few years ago at an art school called the Art Academy in London Bridge.
Yang is my parents' friend, and she offered to teach us art with lots of other people, and I thought it was a great idea since lockdown's kind of boring and there's nothing to do. So I thought it would be great to learn some drawing.
So Yang is a friend for a long time. So we knew her from the university time. So yeah, she invited us to take part in the project. So we think it's a fantastic idea.
Sure, yeah.
I'm a friend of Yang. Just before Christmas, she got in touch to say she's doing a daily Zoom painting lesson for the children. And it was not because of the Christmas holidays, but also during lockdown. We as a family thought that was just an excellent thing, to join, to have fun.
So I know when the lockdown news came, it was quite sad for everyone, quite depressing in the winter time as well. And then she started an initiative of basically asking friends to join in for some free painting class. And then we're like, oh, I love painting, Lucas loves painting, let's just join in for a Zoom class, which we never tried before actually, and it worked out really well.
Oh, well, Yang is my student, my composition student, and I have to say that she's very, very good student. She's very talented. So I'm very proud to be her teacher.
In around Christmas, when I started learning music online, and my music teacher from West Kensington music tutors, they started doing a very interesting project. They actually started launching free classes online, very good quality for free every week, and I've learned so much from that. And I thought it'd be great if I do something, to contribute society in a positive way without asking for anything back. That was Christmas, and then we were waiting for Santa to come down the chimney. He never came, and the lockdown came. So we got stuck with my 3-year-old and my parents who can't go back to China. So instead of almost killing myself, I thought let's try to do something positive instead, and see what can happen. So I started teaching my daughter. I started putting on the paint and then see whether she can listen to me for a change. She's actually very interested. She's very intrigued with the different colors, how the colors react to each other. For example, how the primary color makes the secondary colors. And I kind of taught her the relationship of the colors. For example, the red and the green, the opposite colors. I said, okay, fine. Then, it's lockdown, it's British winter. Let's just do some really colorful paintings. So I started doing the Monet, the Van Gogh, which the Impressionist period, where the color is very vivid, and the technique they do is actually, if you simplify it, we can do it quite quickly, because these children have 3-year-old, they have no patience, and she managed to do some. So and I asked around some friends, I'm going to do this with my daughter every day, and do you guys want to come? So they started joining the classes, and because I think the fact that my friends are joining made me do it every day. So we started doing every day for about 40 minutes. And then I said, okay, I want to do as long as possible, but who knows what's going to happen. So we're going to do the famous painters first. So I handpicked all the paintings I've picked in the auction market. It will be in the order of tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions. So, after 40 minutes, you made $1 million, like $100 million even. So, there's like a sense of achievement.
Had you done much before?
Not a lot, to be honest. It's only school projects.
Not a lot.
Not really. Yeah, I don't think so.
Been very busy at work and life, you know.
So I start with painting and with another painting teacher. Then on the summer holidays after my school, I got like a long time so I could have like another painting teacher.
No, I've always liked it as a child, but not, from China, if you can do math, you don't do painting. After my second child, I think I did a bit of part-time course, but, not a huge amount. And for children, I guess, they're so young, that's, pretty much first time.
I would never have imagined myself to do any of the masterpiece, and we did some doodling before, but it was mostly just very small paintings. But Yang really gave us the inspiration and courage as well to try out the masterpiece.
How did you learn to paint yourself? How did you start?
So basically, after my experience in the stock market, my kind of family is more my center of focus. So I thought with a bit of free time, I want to explore my creative side, which I couldn't do before. So I started learning painting with the Royal Society of Portrait Painters. I wanted to do portrait because portrait is the most difficult subject matter to paint. Because if you get it wrong, it's really obvious. So I thought, okay, if I can get this right, I should be okay with at least for the techniques kind of view. So I did that for 3 years, and and kind of as I expected, the fact that I feel like I'm comfortable with making portraits, the other subject matters is actually much easier to deal with, like the landscapes, the still life, or anything creative behind that, because you have a solid foundation.
Yang Yang like as a teacher?
She's amazing. She's really kind and understanding.
She's been amazing, honestly. She taught us the basics, how to, plan a painting, and then what to prepare to start a painting, and then, I learned so much, and then sometimes when you see the results, we just couldn't believe, we can paint such a good picture,
Very methodical and logical, she breaks down to elements, very clear steps so that you can follow, but very patient and clear as well.
She teaches us other painters like a long time ago, like in the past.
She's so free spirit, you know, she gives so much encouragement for everyone. Like whenever we feel the paintings are not as good, then she would always point out some really positive points about the painting, which I would have never saw.
Oh, I think she's a very good teacher. You know, it's not a given that if you're an artist, you can also teach. And I think she's one of those rare types who actually really can do both. To be able to impart her knowledge in an accessible way, I think is, you know, it's not always going to happen. And I think Yang Yang does that very, very well.
So I actually started engineering at university, and I was a stock trader for over 10 years. So I know it sounds nothing to do with painting, but I assure you they're all connected. In a way, it's about summarizing the same thing. For example, in the stock market, you need to look at how stock behave, and then you kind of draw a conclusion because they behave similar and they end up going to similar places. In the painting, in a way, it's the same. You look at famous paintings; they all have something in common. That's why they lasted the test of time. So, for example, the treatment of their composition, the treatment of their color relationships, all of this, all the masters have a lot of things in common. For example, the red and green I mentioned. So if you put the red and green together, if you mix them, they become brown. But if you put them next to each other, it's like in the music, you have the tonic and dominant. They enforce each other to be even stronger.
Oh, it meant quite a lot, isn't it?
Exactly. I think it's not only about the painting itself. It's about like release our imagination, and during this hard time, and even we've been, you know, locked at home, and we can't go abroad, but at least our minds and our feelings can fly.
It was really fun to do something. Drawing, I like painting now. She's taught me a lot on techniques and how to enjoy art, and how to interpret what the artist's view is.
What does it mean to you? It's a bit of fun every day. I think it's fun, and because it's an activity the children do together, I think it's also a little bit of freedom for them to express themselves.
I think for me, this really has just shown that it's all about attitude. In whatever hardship or whatever time period, you can always bring out beauty, and you can always bring out creativity as well. So it's that very positive spirit and attitude has been extremely meaningful.
For me, it's been very important because the fact that I think I actually try to do it every day, for me it's a bit of a challenge as well. And also to show my daughter, you need to do something every day and be consistent with your determination. You can do something great. So for me, that was a big element of it. Every day I have to think about how to plan the project, how to plan the class, commit the time, and then have the result. And also, I think it was a relief in a way, because during lockdown I don't have to kill myself, and I think it's extremely rewarding. See the progress my mother made is unbelievable, and the children as well. And also I learned so much from the children. The way they interpret things and the way their brush marks. I mean, you give adult a brush, they just cannot do it. You know, I think it's extremely precious to really explore that and preserve it for as long as we can. Yeah.
I think it's absolutely critical. You know, it's such a nebulous time, and education has been stripped away to its bare bones. So to have something tangible that you can actually engage your hands in every day I think is completely critical. And art lightens the load. It gives people hope. It brings colour into their lives. So by dint of that, I think it's absolutely irreplaceable.
And what do you think of this project as something to do in lockdown for other people?
Just amazing. I mean, the project itself, when she told me that she was doing this, at the beginning she told me that she was doing just lessons online, or just sharing paintings and teach first her daughter, then her daughter's friends, and then she told me that she was, because of the lessons online that we do at WKMT, that I'm a teacher there, so that's somehow gave her the idea. So I'm very happy because the result of that came into this.
Favourite painting that you covered during the Master Series?
It's a difficult one, actually. I think for, obviously I've done a lot of Van Gogh or Monet because I really like the way they've treated things. But in terms of the personality, I think Gauguin is my favorite. Maybe because he used to be I was a stock trader, he was a stockbroker. So he was kind of in that, and then what he did is he went even further to the scale. He went all the way to Tahiti to search for the meaning of life, and he's a very interesting artist. He's done a lot of quite religious, almost religious work, and the fact that he's done this whole Tahiti thing, the way he sees life, is a very refreshing perspective. I think he's a very interesting person.
Vincent van Gogh, The Starry Night. I thought it was really pretty, the drawing, and I like the stars and the night sky.
I
quite like Kandinsky.
Yeah,
because I like the color and the feeling and the passion behind the color.
Yeah.
And the simple shape, but it tells a lot. If you can think through the color and think through the shape, it means a lot.
Yeah, those paintings use a bright color and really inspirational. Yeah.
So David Hockney, well, I just really love the pure color of how he used it. We didn't do many of his paintings, but one of the daffodil was David Hockney, but I really like the color use.
What are your thoughts so far about the art on show?
Well, I think it's fantastic. I mean, it's a lot of the paintings that reference some older paintings by great masters and contemporary masters alike. It's remarkable to see the freshness of the kids' interpretations. In many cases, I actually think they're fresher pieces of work than the work that they're actually mimicking. So, yeah, it's fantastic.
I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, the amount of artwork that, first of all, the amount, because lockdown was very long. It's just amazing the amount of artwork and hard work that people have done, and the quality as well, and the array of different styles. So it's just amazing.
Style or medium, oil, watercolor?
What is your favorite?
I think the watercolor is amazing. Yeah, because given the reflection of the color depends on the shade, light, and the perceptions. It's all about the magic.
Yeah, I think I'm You're more of a drawer, and yeah, she's funny. She draws and she writes comments. It's quite funny. I think I'm more a painter. Yeah.
I really like watercolor, and this is the first time I try acrylic, and it's actually beautiful as well. I like watercolor just because I love seeing how the color is melting together, and acrylic is just so vivid in terms of the use of colors.
What are your hopes for the artists that have taken part in this?
The most important thing I wanted them to learn is actually, well, I hope they kind of get, is actually, lockdown was a very bad thing. COVID is horrible and everything, but we can, with our determination and with our willingness and with our own hands, we can make it into something very beautiful. We can make a miserable thing into something wonderful. So obviously, I would like them to also remember like the color relationships, the composition. For example, what is closer to you looks big, what is really far away looks tiny. And then you kind of, the perspective, and you kind of apply in life too. So the way you look at things depends on the perspective. If one perspective is lockdown is horrible, the other perspective is it's something to train our willingness and become a stronger person, a better person.
Will you be carrying on painting?
Definitely. It's taught me a lot about painting, and yeah, I love it now. It's really nice.
We will. Whenever we have time in the weekend, we will continue painting, yeah.
Oh, for sure. I think on the weekends, we don't do daily now without the extra push, but sometimes in the morning the kids get up, I just find them by a little table and doing their own. This morning they were just, doing their own thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and also trying some new paints as well.
Well, I keep painting. Well, I'm doing like TV people, like SpongeBob. I'm painting characters now.
Will you be carrying on?
Yes, I think. At the moment, I would like to explore a lot of things myself too, to make myself more interesting and my life more interesting. And this could be part of it. And I think I would definitely like to carry on teaching younger children. Perhaps I don't know if I can commit every day, but I would like to commit some time to do it because I learn so much from them. I like them to at least notice what kind of things they have, which is really, really precious and beautiful.
What would you say to people thinking of painting, who may be nervous about people who draw?
Well, I would say have a look. They are 3-year-olds. If they can do it, I'm sure if you just relax, you're going to do something even better. Look, my daughter is 3. She did all that wall. My mom, my dad is almost 70. They've done that wall. They've done nothing before. But everybody have their own personality. So you just go ahead. The secret is fill the whole page. I told everyone the secret of great painting is just fill the entire page with no blank. And then you realize it doesn't matter what you do, it looks really nice. So as you can see, we did a lot of study for the same image, like the Van Gogh sunflower, for example. Everybody's sunflower is different because they have their own personality in it. The one, some moms, they're very, very clean, very neat. The painting is extremely neat. Some people, like my dad, he's very messy. His painting is like, he says it's a master's work.
I heard many people say, I love to do it, but I'm not artistic. That's just so not true. Get your hands dirty and just do it. You'll be surprised.
I think really just try it out because I think that it's different from painting is different from, let's say, playing instruments, right? Playing instruments, you need to actually get the notes right first of all to have the interpretation. Mm-hmm. Whereas for painting or a lot of the artwork, it's really just showing a personality, and different people have different style.
Be passionate about that. If you're passionate about that, you're going to focus on that. You're going to give energy to that, and be patient.
Well, it doesn't have to be as sophisticated as you say, putting brush to canvas, very, very sort of grassroots stuff, just simple pencils, crayons. It's all valid. It's all, a stepping stone to ultimately, I suppose, painting. So I would say that it's accessible to everybody. Just pick up a pencil, do a drawing, do a self-portrait, paint, draw a plant. It's all there. It's right in front of you. It's a bit of a leap of faith, yes, I know, but people aren't going to be sort of saying, oh, this isn't a good piece of work. At the end of the day, it's just your interpretation. It is a completely subjective thing, so just give it a go.
just go for it. Yeah, start painting the first one, and then you will getting better and better.
Be bold.